to my channel Analytics and Beyond. Today we are going to learn on computer networks. So these are the topics that we are going to cover today, that is introduction, characteristics, components of computer networks and network topologies. So as we know about the sharing of information, so basically due to sharing of information the networks came into existence. If you want to share any information from one devices to another devices, those devices has to be linked, right? Without linking the devices we cannot share the information. So that is how the computer networks came into existence. That is nothing but connecting one devices with the another devices for sharing the information. So or we can call it as computers that are linked into a one particular system, that we call it as a computer network. As you can see in this diagram, that how the computers are connected to one another. So one computer will share information with another, this can share with this, so in any of the manner. So this leads to a transfer of information from one machine to another machine. Now what is a data communication? So here you can see communication refers to exchange of any digital data between two or more network or connected device. So here we have four devices connect to one particular thing, hub or a modem. So wherein we can exchange the information. So that we call it as a data communications. And how should be the devices? So in order to communicate with one device to the another device, or sending the receiving information from one to another, the communication medium must be capable, and all these devices that are connected in a network should be capable of sending and receiving the data over any kind of communication medium. So what are the communication medium? Communication medium can be in terms of a cable or a Wi-Fi, router, anything. So through which we can communicate. Okay. So what are the characteristics of communications? If you want to communicate with one system to another, so what are the characteristics? First thing is the delivery. Yes, as soon as we send the data, it should successfully reach to the destination without loss or corruption. So suppose if I want to send one data like hello from one system to another system, it should reach as it is without any loss. In case if it losses, then the delivery is done properly. So delivery is the first characteristics. Next is the accuracy. So that is what I said. As you send the data, it should be sent without any error. That is the meaning of accuracy. There should not be addition of data, or neither there should be a deduction in the data. Next is the timelessness. So how much time should it require in order to reach data from one system to another within the time framework however we decide. For example, my data should reach within 1 second or 10 seconds. So if I give the limit, it should able to reach the destination within that speculated time. So that we call it as a timelessness. Next is a jitter. Variation in arrival time of data packet should be minimized in order to smooth transmission and reception. So what is the data packets here? If the data is used, we break the data into number of segments. So those segments we call it as a packet. You might have experience while sending a huge amount of data. It reaches part by part, part by part. So that is the, we call it as a packets. So if there are packets, or if my information is very huge, then the arrival time must be reduced, minimized, smooth, so that we can deliver the data properly. So these are some of the characteristics a data communication should have. We should deliver properly with accuracy within a given time, and there should be no delay. So these are the characteristics of the data communication. Okay. Next comes the component. So after knowing the characteristics, what are the components? For example, I want to send a data from one system to another. What are the things I require? I require one sender, one receiver, and a transition medium. As we said that for communicating a data from one to another, we require, as you can see from the diagram, we require a sender, receiver, and the cable. Okay, so this is a sender, receiver. So one system is sender, another one acts as a receiver. In order to send and receive the information, we require a transmission medium. So that can be a radio wave, infrared, microwave, or anything. So here we have used cable, right? So using this we can do a communication. So these are the basic components of communication. So next we have what are the protocol, what are the components. Under that we have what are the things that you have to do it. Another one is a protocol, that is the rules and regulations that you have to follow in order to communicate. Okay, it may be a transmitted or received, or that should have some rules and regulation, that we call it as a protocol. And the message, what kind of message that you are going to send, what are the kind of messages that we are going to send. As we said, it can be a text message, image, audio, video, or any other kind of information. So next is the transmission mode. So what are the different kinds of transmission mode? So that is a simplex mode. Simplex means you can transfer the data only in one direction. So sender can send the information, but receiver cannot send back the information to the sender. Same things happens in terms of television. So only we can receive the information from the television, but we cannot communicate back with the television. That is a simplex mode. Half duplex. So data can be transferred, okay, in both the directions. That means you can send the information, receiver can also receive the information, but the thing is both cannot be done at the same time. That is not at the simultaneously. After sending, after receiving, receiver can send back, but both cannot happen at the same time. For example, walkie-talkie, Ethernet networks. Next is a full duplex mode, where we can transfer, send, receive information simultaneously at the same time. So sender can also send the receiver can also receive the data concurrently. It includes Ethernet, then telephone conversation. While others speaking, we can also speak together at the same time. So that we call it as a full duplex. So these are very important. It may appear for 5 marks. What is the difference between simplex, duplex, and half duplex and full duplex? So you should be in a position to write this differences. Okay. So next we have a topology, that is a network topology. What is a topology? It refers to a physical or logical arrangement of devices. So how you can arrange the devices in a network? I can arrange the networks in a straight line, or I can arrange the network in a circular format. So in any of these formats. So what does it mean? Let us understand now. So it can be a physical or logical arrangement. Physical means through cable, through wire that we connect a system. Logical means through the IP addresses we can also connect the system. That is a logical. So this topology tells us how the system are being connected, and also it should play a very important role in efficiency and reliability of networks. How well we can transfer the data from one system to another. Or another thing you can tell it as refers to arrangement of elements within a computer network. So it could be a LAN, WAN kind of connections or anything. Or you can tell it as how devices such as computers, switches, routers, other networking devices are connected in order to communicate. So those are the network topology. So what is the first one? Under topology we have bus topology, like how I am arranging the system. Bus, we can also call it as a linear bus topology. Here how I have arranged the system in terms of a single communication line. So what is a communication? So this is a communication line. This is a single communication line. Only one kind of communication we have. There is one system which sends the information. Remaining all these three acts as the receiver. There will be only one sender. Remaining all the systems receives the information. But the thing is, these receivers cannot send or communicate to the sender. So it is called as a single way of communications. So each system will be having their unique address. So just to show you how it does. Okay. So only one sender and one receiver, many receiver. Here you can see how data has been transferred in the bus topology. Mean the information is sent by only one then system, remaining they'll keep on receiving. So here you can observe remaining they'll keep on receiving the data, only one kind of communication channel happens. Okay. So let us see now next topology. So that is a star topology. What is the meaning of star topology? Here all the systems are connected to one single central hub or a switch. So whatever the information that we send, it flows through this hub and then it reaches the system. For example, if I send the information from system 1, reaches hub and then reaches. So whatever the system transfers the information, completely it reaches the hub and then it communicates with the hub. Then from the hub it tries to communicate with the other thing. So what is the disadvantage is if the hub gets disrupted or if the hub gets failured due to some or the other reason, then we cannot communicate. Data simply will be lost. So this shows you how a data transfers here. See, whatever the communication that happens here will be communicated through hub. Okay, that is a star topology, right? Okay. So next is a mesh topology. So each devices, mesh topology tells us each devices is connected to every other devices in the system. So one devices, see for example, A is connected to all the other two devices. A is connected here and all the other devices. B means B is connected to all the other devices in the system. Why? Because if one fails to send the information, then from the other channel we can tell. Suppose if A want to send the information to B, directly it can send. If something happens to this cable, indirectly it can send through this, right? So that is a mesh topology. Here clearly we can tell that how it works. See, A is communicating to B, right? So now from A the information is being transferred directly. Or if something happens in this we call it as a full mesh topology. So this is a half mesh topology wherein A transfers the information to B through indirect way. So if that cable does not work, so either it can calculate indirectly like this. Okay, it reaches the system. If something happens to the cable, then it will not work. The communication, if it interrupts there, so this is the interruption. If an interruption happens, so this is the interruption that we are showed. If the interruption happens, then still it can communicate, right? So still it can communicate through other route. So that is a so that is a mesh topology. So mesh topology, the disadvantage is it requires more cable because one system has to connect to every other systems in the network. So that is a drawback, and it requires a high maintenance cost also, plus it can lead to a fault or the redundancy. Redundancy means duplication of data can happen. Meanwhile, while sending and receiving the information, same information can be transferred 2 times or thrice. So that is a drawback of mesh topology. So next is the hybrid topology. So it is combination of basic topology like star bus topologies combined together in order to send the data. So this is an hybrid technology. Some kinds of data will be transferred in form of a bus topology. Some will be transferred in the form of a star topology. So it follows all the topology, a mixture of bus or star or whatever it is, that we call it as a hybrid topology, combination of two or more. So why we use a hybrid topology? Because it is used in large scale networks in order to balance the performance or the cost. So there we use this hybrid topology. Okay. So next is the tree topology. So what is a tree topology? In this the systems are arranged in the form of an hierarchy. So this is a hierarchy like 1. So this system is connected to, first one is connected to 2 and 3, remaining it can have any number of networks or multiple branches. So since it resembles to a branch of a tree, we call it as a tree topology. Okay. It can have multiple branch or multiple connections, so that this acts as a root. So here we are given a simple tree topology, how it works. So this is a tree topology when information transfers like this. It can have any number of branches. See, once this reaches here, first one communicates with the branch simultaneously. Okay. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share and comment. If you have any queries, please do post a comment. I'll try to answer you back. Thank you. Please do like, share and subscribe.